Hello there guys, you're listening to Ebird Online and I'm back with another review. Stand by my friends, stand by for a blast from the past. Because today's video is about Geoffrey Pashel. Who? Geoffrey Pashel. Remember him from last season's Before the 90 Days? He went to Russia to meet a girl called Varya. Well, you may just remember that it was widely reported at the time Geoffrey had a very extensive tick sheet. Very extensive. And I detailed a lot of allegations and charges and criminal convictions on my earlier video, The Truth About Geoffrey Pashel, which I will link below. So if you guys want a bit of context, go back and have a look at that video. So when Geoffrey was actually on 90 Day Fiance, it was discovered that he had outstanding charges for domestic assault amongst other things. And this was an incident that involved one of his previous partners. So TLC knew absolutely nothing about this, and it caused a massive stir. And these charges dated back from June 2019. And now some people at the time thought that this person was Varya. I knew it wasn't because the dates didn't marry up. And so guys, Geoffrey was due in court this week at the Knoxville, Tennessee County Court. And I think he was supposed to go in on the 6th, but unfortunately the court case has been delayed yet again. I'm guessing it's due to COVID and that kind of stuff. And so I thought I'd give you just a bit of background because I had planned to cover the case this week. So now we're currently just waiting for a new court date, and as soon as that happens, I'm going to be giving you full reports on everything in the trial and breakdowns of all the issues. Just before we begin, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and if you like the video, don't forget to click like. So what I plan to do is to give you a full breakdown of the actual incident, and then give you both sides of the argument, and tell you what both sides have said, just so that we have a little bit more clarity before the case comes to court. So anyone that's listened to me previously will know I like a good old kangaroo court, just like the next man. But for this, because it's a real live court case, I'm not going to be saying who I think's guilty, who I think's innocent, until the actual case begins and until we hear both sides. So I am pretty keen to hear the evidence before I weigh in with what I think, but I'm just going to now give you a rundown of what's happened previously and look into what both sides have been saying about this incident. So Geoffrey has 4 charges which are relating to this incident, and they are aggravated kidnapping, domestic assault, interference with emergency calls and vandalism. So as we know, his past charges came out during his time on 90 Day Fiance. And for any of you guys who don't know the story, he was with this Russian girl called Varya, who was a quite sweet girl. And he kept his criminal history really under wraps until a certain point. And I think it was when he went to meet her mum and he finally blurted it out and said, yeah, I've been in prison before. Her family were understandably not that impressed. And they also weren't that happy about the criminal charges either. I digress. He managed to keep TLC in the dark about all of his criminal history and his current and pending charges. So TLC in turn banned him from appearing on the Tell-All special due to fan backlash. And I guess partly due to the fact they felt probably a bit blindsided. And I have heard a lot of people talking about how did he get a permit to go into Russia? But there was absolutely no problem there. It was very easy to do because apparently between America and Russia, you can get a tourist visa very easily and they don't check criminal records for this visa. So Geoffrey kind of got lucky on that one. So he basically just floated in. So as we said earlier, Geoffrey's got quite a long criminal history and a background of accusations of domestic violence and abuse from several different partners. And also his third wife, he's been married 4 times, guys. His third wife had to file a protection order against Geoffrey. And at the moment, Geoffrey's currently fighting an ongoing custody battle with his 4th wife, Brittany. But I'd like to focus primarily on the allegations which are pending. So this alleged attack took place in June of 2019, and here are some details of the alleged attack. And these are the details as given to authorities by his ex-partner. So basically she alleges that Geoffrey beat her up and then stopped her from leaving the house whilst he went through her phone and disabled her phone so she couldn't call authorities. So here's a bit from her statement. And she states that Geoffrey repeatedly slammed her head into the hardwood floors, he dragged her through the house by her hair, and he threw her body into walls and furniture. She claims the attack was really prolonged. Apparently, guys, it went on for 30 minutes. But she was so scared that she daren't actually leave. So he ordered her to get into bed, which she did to stop further abuse. And then he took her iPhone and allegedly he deleted all contacts, texts, emails, voicemails, etc. between him and her. And this allegedly took him about 2 hours. and he also allegedly pulled the front off the phone, so he disabled it so she couldn't call or text anyone. So once he'd finished doing that, allegedly he tried to embrace her and apologise, and she literally just jumped up, ran out and ran next door to the neighbour's house, and they called the police. And so it's worth noting that after the incident, the woman was treated at hospital, and police noted a large bruise on her forehead and abrasions on both her elbows and her knees. So apparently when the police arrested Geoffrey, he was initially taken into custody without incident. However, whilst he was in custody, he attempted to kick the windows out of the cop car, and he was initially charged with misdemeanour domestic assault. And so unfortunately for Geoffrey, as a result of this arrest, he lost custody of his son, Cavan, to his mum, Brittany, and she now lives in Canada and she's unable to enter the US legally. I think, if I remember rightly, she overstayed her visa. So this case has had a defining effect on the fact that he hasn't been allowed to keep his son and he's lost custody. So Geoffrey has on several occasions denied all of these allegations, and he wants to make it very clear that everything that was alleged is entirely false. So Geoffrey said in a now deleted YouTube video, "I know for a fact I never laid a hand on any of these people. The first allegation came from Cavan's mother, and then my second wife jumped on board. And it was after that, after I'm leaving a relationship, that the girlfriend jumped on. And so you now have these allegations trying to corroborate each other's story. That's all they're trying to do, corroborate each other's story." In addition to this, he also denies ever threatening any of his exes or any abuse of his exes. So of course Geoffrey denies these allegations, but it's his denial that's quite interesting. And so to put the other side story, Geoffrey insists he's not guilty, and he thinks his ex-girlfriend's claims intentionally coincided with his pending child custody case involving his estranged wife, and he thinks it's all about this custody case. But then bizarrely enough, as the court case drew closer, Geoffrey Pashel actually said that the 30-year-old victim, Kristen Wilson, inflicted the injuries on herself. Why did she do that? Well, allegedly, he broke up with her, and she was apparently distraught. And of course, the prosecution immediately said, well, that's two different stories. The first story, she's colluding with ex-wives and ex-girlfriends to bring me down. And at 5'2" Geoffrey, she hasn't got far to go. And of course, the second story is she was really angry and she went absolutely mad because he was breaking up with her. And quite rightly, the prosecution asked, which is it? So yeah, that's it. That's the accusation. That's the defence. This trial was slated to start this week, but it's been postponed for like the second time I think now, and we're just waiting for new court dates. So I've got a feeling this case is going to get real interesting. So when it does come to court, I will be covering the whole case for you guys. So that's pretty much about everything for now. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and that way when the case does start, you're not going to miss a video. Also, please don't forget to press the like button, and I'll be back very soon with another video. Thank you guys so much for listening. You've been listening to Ebird Online. Ciao for now.